Welcome to Section 9. My name's Damian Hull, and I'm going to be talking about RackspaceCloud.com and their virtual servers. Now, I'm doing this because I'm trying to migrate off of Amazon's web services, and you can check out what they offer at aws.amazon.com, and it's pretty impressive what they do over there, but it's kind of expensive, and I don't use any of their fancy options, so I want something that's cheaper and easier to work with. So this is the Rackspace Cloud website, and I'm going to click on Cloud Servers, and we're going to take a look at their pricing options. And they have a nice list here that tells you what they offer and how much that's going to cost you. And I'm going to start out with their smallest server with 256 megabytes of RAM and 10 gigabytes of storage space. And that's going to cost roughly $10.95 a month. And you also have to pay for bandwidth usage. And they have a nice calculator that you can use to figure out exactly what it's going to cost you to run your server. And I'm going to leave it at 256 because that's how much RAM I've got. I want one server, and let's go with 1 gigabyte of upload a month, and I'm going to guess 5 gigabytes of download a month, and that's going to come to $12.13 a month. And that's a fraction of what I'm paying on Amazon's web services. And their pricing is kind of confusing because you have to get a reserve server, which cost me about $300. And then it was, I think, $60 a month after that. So it's kind of expensive and, again, confusing to figure out what you're actually paying for on Amazon's web services. Now, if I want to migrate to a larger server, let's say for some reason I determine that 256 megabytes of RAM is not enough and I want more, I can actually resize my server, jump up to 512, and that's going to cost me $23.08 a month. Again, that's a fraction of what I'm paying on Amazon's web services. And now let's take a look at the actual server. This is a test server on, well, hold on here. Let's take a look at the web interface first. This is the web interface for Rackspace Cloud. And in a second here, we'll take a look at all the servers I've got. This is a list of all the test servers I have. I've been playing around with different settings and trying out different things here. And we go to Add Server. And again, these are the different Linux distributions that you can choose from. But the only one we really care about is the Ubuntu server. And we want to make sure that we get 10.04. And this is the tool you're going to use, or the little pop-up window that you're going to use to name your server, and then you can pick out how much RAM you want, and you'll hit create, and then in a few minutes you'll have a server. And I think the total time from actually creating an account on RackspaceCloud.com, having somebody call me back to actually authorize the account, and me logging into the website and creating a new server, I think I was up and running in about an hour. And it's pretty impressive what you can do there. And that was a lot quicker than Amazon's web services, because theirs it's a little tricky to figure out how to actually use Amazon's web services or their virtual servers. This is the actual server on Rackspace Cloud, one of the test servers that I have running, and I haven't done anything with it yet other than change the password. So we need to do, let's do lsb_release and -d. This tells us that we're running on Ubuntu 10.04. And we need to update. Now let's do aptitude update. And we're going to do an upgrade here, and then we're going to install the LAMP stack, which of course is Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. And of course we already have Linux installed. Aptitude, upgrade. Yes, I want everything. And we need to do, what are we doing next here? Let's take a look at the processor before we do an install of the LAMP stack here. Cat proc CPU info. And you can see that we're running on a AMD processor. It's quad core, and there's the speed, which is not entirely accurate here. You're sharing the processor with other people on the physical server. Yes, it's a virtual server, but there are other virtual servers on the physical hardware, and I don't know what that actually looks like in terms of what Rackspace Cloud actually has for physical servers, but you're sharing the resources with somebody else, and it all depends on the size of your server and who's doing what when. But just remember that you're sharing that, but it should be enough in terms of processing power for our website, or for the Section 9 website. The only thing I need to really worry about here is RAM. But we're going to go ahead and do a LAMP stack install here. I need to do aptitude install Apache 2, MySQL -server, PHP 5, PHP 5-MySQL. And the only thing you need to be careful about here is making sure that you install Apache 2 and the MySQL server before you install PHP 5, because PHP requires some things from Apache and MySQL. And we'll go ahead and install all of that. And yes, I want everything. And we'll wait for it to finish here. And then once this is done, I'm going to be doing some testing with a program called JMeter in the future. And JMeter is pretty cool because it simulates web traffic. And and I need to install WordPress at some point because I want to make sure that we sort of simulate the actual Section 9 website, and we'll run JMeter against the website and find out what the results are going to be here in terms of how many users can we actually have on this particular server. Now here it's asking me to create a password for the root user on the MySQL server. And you're going to need this when you create databases in MySQL. And we're also going to have to performance tune Apache at some point here, but I think I'm going to leave this one as the default setting, and I think we're going to do some interesting stuff with JMeter. But we're going to look at a couple of things here, and then it'll be it. Let's see here. We have 256 megabytes of RAM, and again, we're going to have to test to see if that's enough RAM to run Section 9. And let's do df-h to see how much drive space we have. It's 9.4 gigs. We're actually 10 gigabytes. But then, of course, you have to subtract for, what is that? Formatting of the file system. We're using 537 megs of drive space. And we have 8.4 gigs free. So that's enough for now. I'm going to go ahead and do some more research on managing servers over at rackspacecloud.com, and get ready for the next screencast, which is going to include JMeter. Well, no, actually, what we're going to do first is do a screencast on installing WordPress, and then we'll go ahead and do something with JMeter third. So this is kind of a three-part process here. And that's it for now. I'm going to add some more information on the website that's going to go along with this video. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them. And thanks for watching.